Alright, welcome back. This is MDawg, and we are back on our free-to-play leveling guide, or leveling series. We have spent a lot of time at Winding Rivulet this time around, which is fine. I'm glad we have, but I was excited to be able to spend a little bit of time back at Mosquito. So I'm hoping that we can just maybe try out a couple of different spots, and then we'll also check Cafe and see what's working there. Okay, so one person on Discord mentioned a couple days ago that at a 5-meter clip, so that's as close as you can get it here. Let me make sure I've got this right on what they were using. They were using bark beetle larvae, but they were just saying basically you can catch a lot of roach and even carp. Man, part of me wants to go 6 on the... We'll stay at 5 though. So we're just kind of setting it down right here, going 5 meters out, and we're wanting to think about bark beetle larva. I think this is a point in which we want to get some slightly bigger hooks. Probably ideal hook size right here might be about 10, which is what we have on this one. We just don't have many 10s. All right, are we going to go bark beetle on all 3? I think I am. I think we're going to test this spot with bark beetle on all 3 for a minute. See how this goes. All right, love to see it. Would love to see crucian mixed in with the roach. Assuming that the spot hasn't like changed dramatically. So let's see, 16, we could probably go to a 10 on that one. This is a 10 and this is a 10, so like 9, 10, something like that is kind of what we're wanting to be at. Try to have a good bite rate, but also average on the larger side of roach. But if you want to catch common carp in this spot, which apparently they're pretty active right now as well, of course you put out something like corn, and then you'll have a mix of different fish, but you'll hit common carp every once in a while. We don't have a lot of power on our setup, so I don't know that it... Oh, we could get a 3 kilo one. That might be fun. We would have to fight that for so long. We could try it, though, just for fun. 1 rough order. I guess we're not going to go for rough this time. I want to just test out some different spots, trying to catch some... Probably mostly some of the basic stuff. Roach, crucian, gibble, that kind of thing. Oh, there's another healthy crucian. And there's our first roach. All right, let's go get a 9 hook. So we've got 13 silver. What kind of hook can we afford? Ten's out of stock anyway. This is perfect. Now, one thing we don't have, if we were going to test corn, we're going to have to wait till... Oh, they're so cheap, but we don't quite have enough. We could go sell a single fish and probably get it. But if we're going to punish ourselves with this whole, like, common carp thing... Alright, this is the one that has the 16, so we'll switch this one to 9. Oh, it's another really healthy crucian. Look at these crucians. But I'm pretty sure there were no... Okay, there's a gibble. That's a good sign. Pretty sure there were not any actual crucian or roach cafe orders, if I saw it correctly. We want to keep digging, of course. Not sure which. Guess it's on this one and it's just kind of small maybe. It's not that small, but that might be a roach because it was just nibbling. Yeah. Well, so far it's very good bite rate. I will say that, which is nice. Very nice. Let's double check cafe orders just so we know what we're getting into. So far we're catching Crucian, Gibble, and Roach. So Gibble, we're a couple away, but that's a small order. Yeah, Trophy Roach, that's interesting. We could go for the Trophy Roach. Alright, now I gotta figure out which one. Probably the middle. Again, these Roach don't always signify that there's a bite on. Oh, that's a nice one. Wow. Yeah, and we do not have any corn. What's more likely? It's probably more likely that a Crucian order pops up, not another Roach. What was I going to get? Oh yeah, corn. And let's see, what can we afford? We've got 3.92 silver. So cheap corn just to be daring. And we may end up needing another bunch of those. And we also might need some more Roach ground bait. So we'll kind of keep an eye on things. There's a little Roach. Very cool. And then we'll put the corn on the middle rod. It's got slightly bigger hook with a 9. So let's just see if we can find a common carp. And if, you know, if we actually hook into a 3 kilo common carp, again, we won't be able to get it in for a long time, but we would have a cafe order to go turn it in real fast. So could be nice, I suppose. Red worm. I am sort of curious about these gibbles. That's 2, so 1 more and we can at least take a look at it. There was actually a post, so size 1 hooks and stonefly larva. Does stonefly larva, is that in stock? There was a post today about catching a trophy roach here at Mosquito, so it is kind of tempting to wow, that's expensive. And if we're going for roach, that's probably, I mean, it's not break even, but we're not making too much of a profit off of that. You would definitely want to use that with like a large 1 hook. We don't, so we'd also need to buy that big of a hook, I guess. Okay, so first fish on corn is a roach. Which, like I said, we will catch different things on corn, but that just increases your chance of a carp as well. Yeah, these roach are tough. They just don't activate on the showing that there's a bite. Wow, 804 grams? Big crucian. Wow, I like this spot. This is really nice. And with how much is active, you know, obviously you could just, if you're even lower level or don't have the resources yet, you could just go worms or bread and still do very good in this spot. We're trying to sort of sit on slightly larger fish the way we're approaching it, but I think that fish is on. Oh, we hit it too quick. That's gonna be the problem with Roach is that way too often that's gonna happen. We're gonna get faked out into too early of a thing. Go common roach by price. That's 11 silver. 9 roach, 11 silver. We're averaging just over a silver per roach. All right, we really need to 13.85. All right, so that's 27. All right, there's 30 more of those. How much? Ooh, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. That is our third gibble. Now, it's later in the morning. Feels like the size The size of fish is starting to come down in average. That's okay. How much time's left on this? 33. I'm not going to take a chance of it going away. Let's just go ahead and get it. The bite rate over here seems to be just great. Don't think about it. All right, there's a little tench. Big old gibble. Sometimes it's hard to tell which one's got the fish on. All right, this one does. Maximum total weight in one day. And it's still early. But we just haven't done a lot of this in this series. Like, this is old school feeder fishing, roach, crucian, gibble. Doesn't get much better than this. And think of how slow this corn is on the middle rod. It could be so much better. Not so much, it could be a little better. Want to make sure nothing's changed and nothing's about to change. Not really. How much is that roach order worth? 70 silver for a roach. 22 more silver, that puts us at 45 and a half. All right, there's something on the corn. Planning to sit at this spot till like 1 or 2, and then we'll move during the like slow part of the day. Oh, is that a... Didn't know what that was, honestly. I thought it might have been a really, really small common carp. Uh-oh. Oof. Okay. Afraid it was too quick, but we're good. Okay. So, we are at 45 silver. I mean, if we're going to go for this, we want to... guess go for this. It's like, we're not going to regret having one thing of... Where are they? Stonefly larva. I'm just not going to think about it. I'm just going to get it. And then... Do they have large one in this? Yeah. I think that's fine. Okay. Wow. Another 10 silver quickly. That's great. We're actually not doing that bad. I mean, it's hard to compare against some of those like interesting winding things we've run into this series, but this really has not been... This has not been bad. Am I gonna do one more roach? Maybe I'm gonna do 2. Okay. And eventually we'll get aggressive on leveling up the ground bait, but we're kind of chilling right now. We're okay. We're just leveling it up as we use it. Alright, what time is it? 1:26. Give it a couple more minutes and then we'll try to move spots. Now, I don't think this spot that we're moving to is going to be as good as this spot is overall. But, you know, the thing is, the spot we're moving to, someone has confirmed catching a trophy roach on stonefly larva, large one hook. So that's kind of what we're moving for. And I think on this one, let's go bark beetle larva, and then the third one, let's actually go worms, which basically at this point is like a free bait, so it increases our profit for fish, per fish, because we're digging them up so fast now. We're going to 98.80, which is just on the other side of the world. So let's go this way. Is there anything else we're gonna need? I don't think so. And if we do, we do, but I think we're gonna be good. I was thinking about using pearl barley, but since we haven't unlocked it yet, and we don't need to use pearl barley to catch roach and other stuff, then we'll hold off on it for now. But just know that when you're fishing for roach, at least having one rod on pearl barley almost always makes sense, if not all 3. We're going all the way over here. Or somewhere over there. All right, what did I say? 98? $98 what? 98.80. So right here, let me get the picture of it. So clips 8, 9, and 10. Yeah, it looks just like right here. All right, so let's just go 9. Let's be consistent and go clip 9 on all 3. Where does this land? Yeah. I think this is good. So clip 9, max cast. Perfect. And probably be a pretty slow bite rate here, especially right now during the hottest part of the day. Hopefully it'll pick up before too long. So it looks like first nibble is coming in on the bark beetle larva, which that is really what was getting such a good bite rate over on the other side of the lake. So we'll see. We'll see how the other two do in comparison. And there is a roach, so that's what we're looking for. We're just trying to get lucky on a trophy, to be honest. That is what would be nice. I am also curious. There supposedly has been this Bream spot recently, which is over at 75.87, which I think we ran by this spot. I don't know. 75.87 might be back at the front. Either way, supposedly people have been catching Bream at that spot on garlic dough, which this information is a few days old, so I just don't know how up to date it is. But we could try like pearl barley. I probably wouldn't try sweet dough. I'd probably try pearl barley and maybe worms and castor can sometimes be good for Bream, or maybe double worms, something like that. If we want to try that, once it gets to be nighttime, roach are going to be pretty silent at night, so it might be nice to have something to do just for a few minutes during the latest part of the overnight. Let me see if I can get an exact location on 75.87 really quick. Mosquito 75.87. Yeah, so it's kind of halfway between here and back to home base. So it's not too bad the way we came. Oh, shoot. Yeah. I kind of knew that was going to happen as soon as I picked that rod up. Just with these roach, you just got to give them a minute. There's a red worm. So what are we at on red worms? We've got 29. How many points did we put in bait harvesting? Only 1. We could do a second one next time we level up. I don't know. I mean, those red worms are very valuable if you really want to farm winding for some interesting fish. Well, I know we're going to run out of these bark beetle larvae, but this worm is just not catching anything. So probably just a little bit of a big hook for worm. What were those bark beetle larvae, like 4 silver for the whole set of them? We should have gotten more of those before coming out. Good to see old Swamp Donkey. I feel like Swamp Donkey might have taken a little bit of a break, but I mean, level 53. He's never taken too much of a break, but it's always good to see him showing up in chat and the records every once in a while. Sometimes it's just really tough to see when these roach are actually on the hook. The only reason to do this setup that we're doing here, by the way, is because we're hoping to get lucky on a trophy. Besides that, you're much better off having a little bit smaller hook and bark beetle larva on there. I mean, this bite rate on bark beetle larva, even over here, is still really nice. Okay, so it looks like we're getting our first catch on the stonefly, which is rod 1 and is a large 1 hook. But I definitely don't want to mess that nibble up, so we're just going to chill. I guess we hadn't made any bread yet. Look at that. It just looks like there's a fish pulling on that first rod, but I'm just really determined not to mess the bite up. So let's see from the little blinking system if it's on there. So we're not getting an indication that it's on there. I do wonder if it's gotten itself snagged on the bottom or something, and that's why it's staying in that position but not actually having a fish on. Well, all right, let's open and then close it back. The bait's still on there, so I mean, I think we can trust that it's still possible that a fish could get on there. I mean, if we pick it up at the end of all this and it's snagged, then that will be frustrating, but You see how often I'm digging, just trying to keep that bait harvesting percentage ever climbing. Okay, so we're getting a nibble on line 1. In fact, I think we have a fish on line 1. Holy cow. It's nowhere near a trophy, but it is a fish. Oh, it's a perch. Perch on stonefly. Okay. I mean, do we have anything else that we could... Okay, maggots, caddisfly, mayfly larva. Actually, all 3 of these we could sub in as roach, even bloodworm. We're just about to run out of bark beetle. Casters too, actually. We've all got all kinds of options. Now, are any of them going to be as good a bite rate as these bark beetle larvae have been? Probably not, but we could at least try them. I think it's on there now, but I might be wrong. Caster. I was hoping we would just see like one more fish on the... Alright, by the way, this is first fish on caster, right? Ooh. That's pretty cool. I was hoping we'd see one more fish on the stonefly larva, but we only caught one. Yeah, you gotta really want that trophy bad, I guess, to give up a good bite rate to have a chance at hitting the really big one. Nope, maybe we're gonna get our second. Okay. Caster's coming through. Maggot's not coming through yet, but we'll see. Okay, something's on. Not that one. So do we trust it? Do we pick it up? Guess so. It's a pretty nice one, but it's not a trophy for sure. 796. Ooh, that didn't go very far, did it? Not sure what happened there. A little better. Well, early impression is that maggots might be slower. Casters might be actually better than maggots. Which I don't think of casters as like primarily roach bait. It feels more like all around in some ways, but looks like they're doing pretty good so far. Somebody mentioned in our, I think, very first video of this series that they love using casters for, or recommending casters for low-level players because they can catch so many different species. Yeah, it's a pretty good bite rate out here, though. Better than I was expecting, but that's because we only have stonefly larvae on one. Caddisfly, definitely a roach bait as well. I mean, roach will eat almost anything. Even peas are a really good roach bait, so there's so many options. Just if you're really trying to, you know, farm roach or go out for a cafe order, what's actually got the best bite rate? Usually the question. All right, first fish on caddisfly is probably a roach. Yeah, but it is getting late. It's 11:23. I think this is going to be a good time to switch over to the Bream spot. Unfortunately, we did not hit the, what did I say it was? 70, 75, 87. Flip 15, it looks like. Okay. We're not going to get a trophy this late anyway. Uh-oh. Come here. Alright, so 75.87 should be back this way. Alright, so on this one we can do Pearl barley. And we'll put Crucian Gibble instead of Roach ground bait. And clip 15, right? It's right to the right of a log that's in the water over here. Should be coming up very soon. Alright, right here. So we're just casting right alongside this log. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm trying to see like where the... That's weird. Okay. 15, huh? Can we even get this 15? Just barely. 15 is about our maximum with these right now. Alright, so we want to go Crucian Gibble. What size is this? 9. Alright, let's go Caster. Now, I don't know if we're really going to do any more roach fishing after a few minutes of bream fishing, but in case I decide to, let's just take the time to run back and get some more, sell some fish, and get some more bark beetle larvae, just in case. The other thing I'm wondering is, do we go ahead and get another larger hook? If we want to really go for it first thing in the morning, see if we can't get a nice fat roach. But instead of large 1, maybe we go large 4. I don't know. Let's double check cafe as well. Alright, nothing new that really matters to us. 34 more silver, so we're back up to 40. This is great. I mean, we'll always use, whether we do a 1 or a 4, we'll always use larger hooks. And then they're so cheap. I'm just going to go ahead and get 60 of them because I don't know. They're just working so well at Mosquito right now. So this spot where we just cast in these, you know, pearl barley, caster, and worm, what you're actually hoping in this spot is for a bream, but the post about catching bream in this spot was a while ago, so I don't know how active it still actually is. But we'll give it a couple minutes to see if anything comes in. Oh, just in time. That's on the caster, by the way. That looks like a bream, doesn't it? Although with caster, it could be a large roach as well. It's a little late for roach, but you never know. So everything else here seems very slow. So far, caster, only thing to catch a fish, and it looks like it's about to get its second fish, although as I say that, now something might be coming in on worm as well. Wow. White bream, huh? All right, so first fish on pearl barley. Did we find a single bream here? Yes, and it's very small. What is it, 249? I guess I'm going to sit here just a slight bit longer, but if we're going to just go for just a few minutes at that roach spot first thing in the morning, we actually will need to move back before too much longer. All right, so first fish on worm here as well. It's a small little white bream or something. Oh, no, just a very small bream. Okay, so the bream are here. It just doesn't, first impression, doesn't seem like they're very active or very large. So this is on caster. It's either like a decent, 1 kilo plus bream, or it could be a small common carp like we saw in the very beginning. The first time we threw these casters out here in this spot. It looks like this is a bream. So this is our first 1 kilo plus size bream here at Mosquito for this series, I believe. And this is a very nice fish to go for at low levels, especially when you unlock Old Berg at level 12. So more bream to come in all likelihood. Whatever this is, it swam right for the shore. Another small bream, just on regular worms. We're going to give it a couple more minutes, and then we're going to move back to the roach spot for one last hurrah. Well, that was pretty quick. There's no doubt that caster here has had the best result and the best bite rate. So if you really want to try to do something in this spot at 15-meter clip, you're probably wanting to throw out casters. Garlic dough, by the way, is what people were using a week ago. I just don't have any garlic dough to try. What time is it? 4:05. We should start packing it up. I'm trying to remember. I keep saying it's I'm thinking it's garlic dough, but let me make sure. Yeah, it was garlic dough. Okay. All right, let's pack it in. Let's go back down to our roach spot. Okay. Bark beetle larva. Stonefly. Stonefly. Back down to 98.80. By the way, I mean, and maybe, I don't know, we'll see where we're fishing next time, but actually would love to try these same baits, the stonefly trick at that spot we were fishing at the beginning of this video. I mean, honestly, that one seemed like such a good bite rate for roach. There's no reason why you wouldn't get lucky on a trophy there too, I don't think. So could try these same baits we're about to try here up there next time. All right, let's get these back out here. What were we at? 8, 9, 10. Let's just hit it on 10 on all three. Last time we did 9 on all three. Actually, I'm going to go 10, 8. Nine. So never mind. We're going to mix it up. 5 a.m. Let's see what we can do here. All right, it appears that our first bite does come in on the bark beetle, which this is also a little bit smaller hook, so no surprises all the way around. And it's at 8-meter clip, which we can keep an eye on that as well. All right, let's see here. I think we've only gotten a fish on the bark beetle larva. So 0 fish on the stonefly larva is 7:43 a.m. So I'm going to let it just sit another minute, and I will update you one way or the other. If we don't have a trophy by, you know, probably 9 a.m., I'll just go ahead and call it this time. But just thought we would see what it does here, so I'll give it another minute or two. Yeah, and once again, if we had bark beetle larva on all 3, I mean, I guess you could argue that hook size also plays into it, but between hook size, this one's a 10, this is a 4 and a 1. Between hook size as well as bait, we're certainly hurting our bite rate significantly. All right, we are actually getting a nibble on the other bait as well. And wow, this is a decent size too. Very decent. And that was at 8-meter clip but as well, so. All right, let's see what stonefly is going to come up with. Hopefully something good. Nibble. Could be on now. It might just not be taking the bait away. Yeah, it looks like it's not yet. All right, there it goes. Our one chance. It's disappointing. Not that big, is it? Not small either, though. It's pretty nice. 579. Just too slow. I don't think it pays. I mean, unless you're just really desperate for a trophy. I just think the bigger hooks and then also the bait just doesn't change. I really think on bark beetle larva, if we were patient, we could eventually get that trophy either way. All right, so since it's free to travel to Winding, we're going to travel to Winding and then we'll directly go to back to Mosquito after I steal a glance at the cafe. Look at all those common roach orders. We haven't fished at the pond yet at Winding. I guess that's one thing. There is a pond at Winding. You can probably find it if you need to find it before I actually have a session fishing there. But it basically fishes the same as Mosquito does in terms of what you would expect to catch in the pond, just as a hint on the common roach, gibble, crucian orders, all that kind of thing. Okay, another 15 silver. So at least we're leaving this episode with a little bit of silver, and we've caught a bunch of fish this episode, which, if nothing else, helped level up our bottom fishing. We're up to 24%. We hit paternoster at 25, which is a new bottom fishing type, and so that's a new rig that we'll be able to use very shortly. We're also almost level 11.5 with still lots of exploring Mosquito that could be done and more fishing at Winding if we want. But once we hit level 12, it is going to be tempting to go spend some time camp out at Belaya and Old Berg. Spin fishing here, bottom fishing here, awfully good. All right, as always, thanks for watching. I will see you next time, and tight lines to you.